So, welcome everyone. I think maybe we can start. So, before we begin with the first prayer, taking up reflections, let's just ingather ourselves on the mother with the mother, bringing the mind back in the body, and invoking mother's and Sri Aurobindo's presence. Yeah. So, this is the first prayer that we can take up today, and maybe take a few again takeaways home and hints and tools on the path. April 28, 1914. So, would anyone want to first read the prayer out for us?
Yeah, Monica, I'll read.
Yes, please. Yeah.
So it's April. What is the date?
April 28, 1914.
Thou art the master of the world. Thy law unfolds before us with precision, and as I thought, or rather as thou didst make me understand it before we left Paris. It is the best what could best serve thy work in the world that has happened. In beatitude, I communed with thy puissance dominating over darkness and error, shining like a marvellous and eternal dawn above the mud of hypocritical force and its apparent success. Everything has been brought to light. We have taken one more step towards the full light of sincerity, and this full light will be the first stage of thy reign upon earth. O thou inconceivable splendor, thou conqueror of all ignorance, victor over all egoism, thou who dost illumine all hearts and enlighten all minds, thou who art knowledge and love and being, let me live constantly in the consciousness of thy unity. Let me always conform to thy will. With reverent and silent devotion, I bow to thee as the sovereign Lord of the world. What a humility, no? So, actually, Mother is showing us how to be very beautiful, Maybe she has written for us only. See, at times we are, not at times, many times we are full of our ego, our will, our wishes, our desires. We are behind all of them. See this paragraph, O thou inconceivable splendor, thou conqueror of all ignorance. We don't even know that we are ignorant. We think we are right. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Monica. Thank you.
Thank you. What you just shared, that maybe Mother has written this for all of us, which sounds really true because as they talk about divine sacrifice, that how the divine takes up this human robe, how that's how avatars come when there is a path to be shown, that they confine themselves to human limits so that the path can be shown exactly from where we are in this ignorance, in this, as you said, egoistic state, how to progress. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to share one
Please,
uh,
please.
thing. See, when Vishwamitra takes Rama and Lakshmana to the jungles, so they were children, no? So first time when they go to jungle along with Vishwamitra Rishi, so they were feeling hungry because they are from the palace. They do not know what is hunger. So, but he is a rishi, so he cannot eat anything on the way. That time he thinks, oh, I am a rishi, but they are children. They might feel hungry. So what he says, he give initiation of two mantras. He tells two mantras to Rama and Lakshmana. So that mantra devatas are bhala and ati bhala. See, he says, he's not saying anything, you might feel hungry and all. He says you keep reciting the shlokas. So the why he has given the shlokas is they will not feel hungry because they are the devatas for this hunger. So if the children recite that shloka, they will not feel hungry. But when Tyagaraja sees them, he says, you are Rishi. But they are children. They are what children? Raja Vamsha. They are coming from a very, very great family. But see, at times we can recite mantras to God, human beings. When God himself recite that mantras, what will happen? So in that way, he shows if you recite any mantra, it will give you a lot of power. For to show to the world, only Vishwamitra is telling that shloka to Rama and Lakshmana. So this was, when human beings recite shlokas, that is very normal. But when God himself recites the shloka, that it emphasizes the power of the mantras. So in Tyagaraja Swami Kritis, one of his songs, he writes this. See, if you tell Ramanam, it is very good. But Rama himself is reciting God's name. So like that it is, no? Thou inconceivable splendor, thou conqueror of all ignorance. Mother herself is everything, no? See how she herself is saying. It is really beautiful. Thank you for bringing this up.
Beautiful, beautiful. I think thank you for sharing what you just shared. That when
Yeah.
Mother herself is sharing all these words, as Mother herself says, that these words are not teachings, they are full
Yeah.
of consciousness and power. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you.
Julia.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, anything else? Anyone? Abhishek, you have joined after a long time. Welcome. If you want to, at this moment, share anything.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Actually, this prayer is very beautifully written, and especially the first line and the last line. I mean, when we have a full devotions to the Lord or to the Mother or to the divinity, then whatever things are coming to us unexpectedly or expectedly, uh, they are, having a full faith. If we only allow this faith inside our mind and the body and the soul, then only things work it out for this one. If we do not allow those forces or those supramental forces inside us, then it's not working actually. The first things is completely is depend on the trust and the faith to the mother, and whatever is happening in the life or whatever is going to be happen in the life in near future, everything will be take care of the mothers. So this is the, I mean, what I understood with this.
Yeah, beautiful. Yes. Thank you. In many talks, Dr. Alok Pandey shares that uh, the mantra, or with us for integral yoga, we have such a simple path to follow. Just open yourself to the mother and invite her consciousness in you and just keep invoking mother, turning totally, to the mother. But he says that mind, because mind always wants sophisticated things. So for it's very hard for the mind to believe that just by turning the mother, things will go, towards light. And that's why we all have to, go this way, that way, and give our mind some interesting glitter to hold at times, because the simplicity with which we can actually walk this path, mind keeps on negating it, that no, it can't be that simple, it can't be that simple, just mother's name, how can it be that simple? But yeah, we have been given the golden key, as you said. Yes. Hmm. Yeah, anything anyone wants to add on? Okay, so let's maybe go through this again and we will see if anything comes up. We can share in between, all of you, and we can see how it goes. So April 28, mother is still in Pondicherry when she came for the first time. April 28, 1914. Thou art the master of the world. I mean, this very first line itself, we can get rid of all our worries. At times the mind is so full of worries, and unknowingly we are in that space where this worry, this anxiety, oh, had this happened, this should not have happened, all these things keep on coming. And when we reiterate this line in our head, uh, thou art the master of the world, that without divine will nothing moves, divine is the master of the world, then what am I to worry for? Why should I be worrying right now? Because everything is according to a plan which I don't know. So after that, she adds that on. Thy law, the divine law, unfolds before us with precision. So in each and every one's life, whether it's my child, it's my spouse, it's people unrelated to me, all the people out there, people on the streets, people who are homeless, who have nobody to turn to, alone, people in the forest wandering here and there, all, everything inclusive, even animals on the street, which we call street animals in India. Thy law unfolds before us with precision. So I think this is very comforting whenever, for example, we are parents, so at times concerns about our children come to our mind, that, oh, what would happen? Would my child be okay? What is happening in their life? Then if the divine law is manifesting and there is a certitude that it is manifesting, he is the master of the world. And for each and every one of us, the law is manifesting in precision, mother says, in a very detailed precision. And as I thought, or rather as thou didst make me understand it before we left Paris, it is the best, what could best serve thy work in the world that has happened. So in all our lives, not only, here mother may be writing in her context, that the very fact that she has landed up here, leaving all the previous things that she was engaged in, she's saying that this is, whatever is happening is the best that can serve the divine work, and that is what matters. Same for us, in each one of us, lives of our children, again, people or related, unrelated to us, the very best is happening, what can best serve the divine work. That really is so unburdening. If you really feel that in the body, that doesn't mother know better? Of course mother knows better than me, of course mother has a larger plan than I can see, with this limited mind. So what is the worry? What have I to fear about? Just as I have grown through my challenges and I'm still growing, my children will also be growing, my relatives, my unrelated people, all of them will be growing through their challenges. There is no way that they can't, because that's the divine law. So I think even the first few lines, they just settle our concerns down if we really take them in, that the mind can be rested, fully there with mother's name in the body, fully here in the present moment, and not jumping here and there in the past and present commentary and future happenings. No need to be there. And whatever has happened or is happening is best that can happen according to the present situations and attitudes, according to the divine law and how the divine work has to proceed. Even when we look at our children's life, we can see that whatever will give them more strength, as they say that which does not kill you make you even more stronger. So but most of the times we are found saving our children from all kind of challenges, as parents. That's what we do. But we have ourselves seen that haven't we grown through our challenges, haven't we grown much stronger and deeper with our challenges, and so will our children. So then a certitude can again, be given space to come. Yeah, anything, any reflections on this first paragraph?
So I think, Monica, in a nutshell, what I understood, that whatever divine already thought about you, was thinking about you, they already thought about you with some precision, detailed precision, and whatever they are doing, whether we are feeling this is not a that thing or the good thing, but whatever divine is doing for us, they are doing much better than what we thinking. So we should leave each and every situation and circumstances to the divine, and let her or let him decide the fate of for our birth. I think so. I think that's I understood with this.
Yeah, yeah. Mother says, somebody asked the mother, I think maybe Sharda ji or whoever has read this would know. Somebody asked the mother that, is it always the best that happens?
Hmm.
And mother said that not necessarily, because we can say only that the best happens when we take the highest possible attitude. So, yeah, as you said, that yes, accepting the present situation as it is in my life, and yet taking the highest possible in my understanding that I can take.
Yes.
Yeah. That taking every situation as a possibility to, as mother says, grow and learn. Okay, what is this situation making me learn? And then, of course, mother says that then best will happen.
Yes.
Yeah. And also, I think even when we are in our ignorance and we don't know what is the highest possible attitude that we can take, even then, as mother says, that it is the best what could serve thy work. Now, we, as with mother's and Sri Aurobindo's words, we know that we are here as human beings, and the only purpose of our existence is progress of consciousness, growth in consciousness, and progressive shedding of the veils of ignorance and growing into our true self. Now, anything and everything that serves on that path is welcome. At times, it may be a tragedy. To grow to my true self, I may have to lose my partner, who I loved most. I may have to lose my child. I may have to go through a tragic condition where something happens with my limbs. Who knows? But then I get in touch with my true self. And that's what matters. So that's why there is no tragedy ever, truly. Because each tragic or so called traumatic circumstance, we have seen so many stories, so many people going through such tragic situations and really shining out in their spirit, after going through that challenge. So, for divine work, which is progress and growth of consciousness, anything and everything is welcome. There is no tragedy. There is no tragedy as we see it, as we human beings see it. Because socially acceptable, we see that, oh, people will have a good family, people must have children, a well settled job, and all that. That is considered good. And if anything from that is taken away, oh my God, the person is stuck with a tragedy. But that's not how the divine sees it. So that, I think, something eases down in us if we can see through that lens. Yeah, that only thing that matters is growth of consciousness. Yes, Sardaji, please.
No, actually, even this is a part of evolution, I think, Monica, because, as you rightly said, we want to, live very comfortably. If, a small thing, if a cyst in my eye, or if I have pain in my back, anything, leave the big things, even the smallest of small, uncomfortable situation we don't like. What did I do? Why did this come to me? See, always, this is the no. Actually, we are in the process of evolution. As Mother says, our consciousness should grow. If something has come to me, then it is going to teach me something of how I should come out of it. No? Beautiful, yeah. But we lack that. Many a times we lack. Very few times we remember. Even this has come for something, this is going to give me something very good. Very big thing it is going to give me. Beautiful, yeah. So much to think, Mother is just holding our hands and she's just taking us through. That is why she is Divine Mother, no? She is full of love. Yeah. Thank you
Yeah,
so much for
totally.
this.
Yeah, totally with you. Yes, thank you.
Oh, the tears come. How she has written.
Yeah,
All her ignorant children
yes.
will not understand anything.
I think this is the magic
Each
of
time,
how these dualities are created, and that because there is ignorance, we can walk from ignorance to light or find light in the ignorance. And that's why this journey, as you said, tears of gratitude and all that can happen. And this is so beautiful, the whole process, if we look at it, that first completely in darkness and then trying to struggle through, find our way through, and then finding light, little baby steps walking through that path. So if not for these dualities, then this whole beauty of the path is not there, so
yeah, that is also correct. Yes,
mm, mm,
both are needed. Yeah.
yeah.
If there is ignorance, there will be
Mm,
light, definitely.
mm, mm, mm,
Beautiful. Yeah.
yeah.
This is also a good way of looking at things. Beautiful. Thank you. Sometimes, the small things just stuck.
Mm, mm, yeah.
It strikes. Yeah. Very good.
So I think this first paragraph itself, very, very relieving, consoling, as with every prayer of the mother, that to remember that the divine is the master of the world. And if I may not know, I ignorant fellow, I may not know, because at times we are identifying mostly with our ignorance. That see, I am this limited fellow, I am this ignorant fellow. And Sri Aurobindo actually says that somebody asked about, oh, I am facing this challenge again and again, something like that. And Sri Aurobindo said that, why do you keep identifying with that limited person who you see? So don't identify again and again with the problem. Identify with the vastness that you can see when the problem is there. So, for example, if I am in the middle of feeling jealous, and also wondering that why do I keep feeling jealous, then I can actually step back from the jealous part, and I can feel myself as the expanded part who is looking at the jealousy. So, identifying more with that expanded version rather than again and again identifying with the limited person who always feels jealous and, oh my god, how long will I have to remain in this ignorance? So he actually suggests not to identify with the limited one in us, and to identify with the expanded one, or or maybe in other words we can say mother's consciousness. To identify with mother's consciousness in us, the pure consciousness, rather than again and again identifying with this little one who has been on this path for a long time, and all our stories in the head. So that disidentifying really helps also. Otherwise we are again and again sucked in that feeling limited and feeling, no, I have not reached anywhere, and all the stories that go along with. So in beatitude, I communed with thy puissance, dominating over darkness and error. So yes, darkness and error may be there, in the times when mother is writing this prayer. World war is beginning to start. Then again in India, the freedom struggle. So mother is sharing that, yeah, darkness, error may be there, but you, the all powerful one, the all potent one, you are also there. So not to focus too much on the limitations and errors, but to again invoke that you are there, you are there. So I don't have to worry, we don't have to worry. In beatitude, I communed with thy puissance, dominating over darkness and error, shining like a marvellous and eternal dawn, a dawn which is eternal. There is no dusk to that dawn. Always towards light, always, no matter how much in the error we may be, but this journey is always towards light, whether we can see it or not. And now, can we imagine, the story of Kiran Bedi, that we see how when she was transferred to Tihar jail, who would have guessed that those prisoners who were there in Tihar jail, such light and illumination would come through Kiran Bedi's attempts. They're teaching them Vipassana, and so many people benefited from it. And not only there, after that it spread over all the prisons, and so many people who may be just labeled as terrorists or criminals or, the sinners, just, got back a chance to be their true self, or find light in that darkness, and not to keep living with the label of a sinner. So who would have thought that in a prison which appears so dark and sinful, and so many things are going wrong everywhere, this could happen? But it happened, and not only it happened, it just expanded from that time onwards. So she's sharing that your potency, your all powerful presence is shining like a marvelous and eternal dawn above the mud of hypocritical force and its apparent success. So things that may appear very powerful, but their root is always non-powerful when it is not aligned with true divinity. Like we see, Hitler or other people who are wanting to overpower and dominate over people and want their ends to meet through that domination. So so long as it can happen, it can stretch for a year, it can stretch for further years, but ultimately we know that truth only wins. So even with, for example, the case of Ravana, where uh, although he was a scholar in his right and he was a pandit, but he used all that scholarly, prowess for his own ends, wanting to just suffocate, like fulfill his own limited ego, and just wanting to dominate and control everything for his pleasure and delight, and that could not stretch forever. So that's where we can be sure that divine certitude is there, that evil or untruth, it cannot stretch forever. So even in our lives, many a times we are wondering that, oh, this is an evil fellow. Many a times these thoughts happen. But why is he gaining so much, and why is he so successful, although he's very selfish and arrogant and whatever? But we can be sure that it cannot stretch forever. Evil meets its own end by itself. It's like a self, what do you say, there are things where, it's like it destructs itself. So evil has such kind of a path that it may go for long, we don't know how long, but ultimately it self destructs. And that's why we have Ram then, for the moksha of Ravan, because ultimately it has to self destruct. And that is what we call divine compassion. So on far away it may look that why did Ram kill Ravana, for a person who may be not knowing much about Indian mythology and everything, scriptures. But then we can see that by doing what he was doing, he was just inviting more and more trouble for his own self, more and more misery for his own self. So Ram said, okay, let me give you end in this misery. And that's why towards the end he actually became Hey Ram, like he's chanting Ram's name when he's given moksha from this rebirth. Apparent success, again, we can mark the words that hypocritical force, that which appears to be something else but is not, it will always, even if successful, be apparently successful. In from society eyes, we can say that, oh, that person has so much money, so much this and that and luxury, but otherwise he is such a egoistic, arrogant fellow. So it's just an apparent success, but ultimately, he himself would not be able to have contentment in life if the divine law, if he's not in alignment with the divine unfolding. So this cannot go on forever, and that's a fail-safe mechanism. Everything has been brought to light. We have taken one more step towards the full light of sincerity. So I was just wondering, why would Mother say that? And again, reflections are welcome. That usually we are not aware of the divine law. Usually we are not able to make sense that why would Mother do make this happen in my life? Why would Mother manifest this in my life that I'm going through right now? But if we are totally sincere, full light of sincerity, then that is revealed to us, that why would Mother do or make this happen in my life? Why do I have to go through this challenge that I'm going through right now? So I feel that it's in that light that Mother is sharing, that when I am fully sincere, there is nothing that I want to hide from anyone, neither myself nor the Mother. Then I will know why am I going through the situation that I'm going through, and what is the divine work in operation here? What am I leading towards? So she's sharing that now everything has been brought to light. So the divine law, which is usually we are unaware of, that has been brought to light. We have taken one more step towards the full light of sincerity. So then we don't need to ask people that, would you tell me why is this happening to me? If we are truly sincere, and if we sit in our silences and ask ourselves, let me ask myself, why is this happening in me, in my life? Maybe losing my job, losing a relationship, or finding myself in a place where I don't belong. Something in me will tell me the answer, and that would be the full light of sincerity. That why am I here? Why have I got to go through this situation which appears very troublesome? And this full light will be the first stage of thy reign upon earth. And again, I believe Mother is also sharing, talking here about the collective global situation regarding world war and India's freedom struggle also. In that context also, I think this would come. That this light of sincerity which is dawning, this will help that in full power the divine reign can come. Yeah. So any additions, any sharing is welcome here.
Monica, hello. Hello.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Uh, Actually, this is resembling something which I see on Dashera and Diwali, this mid paragraph. Even the Ravana, the example you have given, he was more successful and more, more knowledgeable person. But what is behind him is the darkness, especially the darkness. And whatsoever the darkness, and you said very rightly, they have their own end whenever they are having this. So even sometimes we are thinking that what is happening and why is it happening, But in the same way, after sometimes we are also realizing, oh, that thing is not happened, then we are not in the position right now what we are now. So we are also realizing. So means in our thought process, whatever divine and spirituality is trying to saying to us, we are also realizing in our own life. Okay, that time is happened like this, and that time we were thinking, why is it happening with us? But now we are safe and secure because that has happened that point of the time, and now because of this, then we immediately go to the divine and the spirituality for this. So the thing is this, whatever is going on in our mind, either the positive or negative, the truth or the positive things always will dominate over any darkness. Any darkness, whether small or big or something like this. And after all, ultimately the things will come that return, everything has been brought to the light. And we have taken one more step toward the full light of sincerity. That sincerity itself, giving a some heavy force here. This word especially. Once we are sincere, with full light, with the truth, with the faith of the divine, whatever they are doing that for good for us. They are doing the best for us, and we are not designing our own path. We are just following our own karma. We are just following our duties. But the path and everything has been already decided by the Lord, decided by the divine. So we do not have to give up. We have to continue our path. We have to continue give our service, do our duties at home place, at workplace, or wherever you are. But we should always think like this: whatever will happen for good, and our truth and faith always will be dominating over any darkness. So we should just have faith and keep patience, and then let it go. So I think what I understood with this.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Yes. I think what you just shared, one of the things that you said that also which reminds me of the first line, that whatever has happened for the best, and you reiterated that in your own language. So I just want to share something here, that as you just said, just reiterating it, that if anything in my life has brought me to mother's feet, it is auspicious.
Yes, true.
Right, right. So what you just shared, I'm just reiterating, which is so beautiful, so beautiful. So all the tragedy, all the drama of my life, if it has today brought me in touch with Mother and Sri Aurobindo's words, I think all has really been a good, good, good right journey. Yes, beautiful. Yes, thank you. Yeah, anyone wants to add on anything? Okay, so we will go ahead then. O thou inconceivable splendor, thou conqueror of all ignorance, victor over all egoism, thou who dost illumine all hearts and enlighten all minds, thou who art knowledge and love and being. So this is an aspiration, like a prayer coming out of the mother. Let me live constantly in the consciousness of thy unity. Let me always conform to thy will. So most of the times, especially when we hear that there is something called divine will, we are wondering, how to know the divine will. How do I get to know what is the divine will in my life? So, and with Mother and Sri Aurobindo words, we also get to know that we can't get to know the divine will, because it's not like, oh, Mother is asking me to do like this, or Mother is wanting me to do like this. It's never like, as you know, because mostly we have our biases, and if we if we have our mental thoughts like, oh, maybe Mother is wanting me to do like that, then most of the time it is our mental biases which we are not aware of. So the best idea is to completely open ourselves to the Mother without any preference, and then automatically it's like, we at times, not even in words, we just know what is the divine will. But for that, we have to first silence the chaos of our mind. We can't live in chaos and continue to believe also in our chatter and yet parallelly want that, okay, let me also know the divine will. Is it in accordance to what I want or is it not? So that cannot happen parallelly. But again, whenever we see ignorance in us, whenever we see jealousy and all these disturbing poisonous elements in us, egoism, most of us are, virtually all of us are so self obsessed, me, what is happening to me, my story, I am the right one. So that egoism, that self obsessive egoism, whenever we become aware of that in us, just reminding, not identifying with that egoism at all, just reminding ourselves that mother is all powerful, divine is all powerful, and I know I can't fight this, but mother is there, she is all powerful. So we have to step back from this habit of identifying with our limited beingness, that I am this ignorant one, I am this egoistic one, because then it makes us even more limited and suffocated. So also being aware of that, being conscious that there are weaknesses in us, all kinds of imperfections are there, and yet I know that the divine is also in me, with me, which can overpower each and every weakness of mine if I am ready, right? So thou who illumine our all hearts and enlighten our minds. So wherever we see light of intelligence, either in me or outside, somebody said something which was so beautiful. It's only that one divine who is enlightening everything. There is no other. Whenever we see this, love, somebody being very kind, generous, somebody being very inspirational, there is no other actually. It is this, and at times we may see it in ourselves. We have to just remind ourselves that it is the divine only which is either speaking through me or through that whose words I found inspirational. Only one. There is no two. So reminding ourselves of that, you are the one who illumines all our hearts, enlightens all the minds, thou who art knowledge and love and being. So this is a sign and symptom, people who are more and more in degrees greater and greater unified with the divine consciousness, we will see a presence of knowledge in them, true knowledge, deep knowledge. We will see a presence of love, unconditional love in them, and their presence will be enough. So a sign and a symptom that is there when we grow in divine consciousness, our true consciousness. Let me live, and this can be our prayer also whenever we see any darkness in us, any ignorance, egoism in us. Let me live constantly in the conscious of thy unity, knowing that we may look separate, but we are not separate. And if we are not separate, we will not be talking bad about anybody behind their back. So that's our interconnectedness. That if, as Sri Aurobindo says, my enemy's fall is my own disgrace, my rival's fall is my own disgrace. So when the people who I name as anti me or enemy, my enemies, if they are falling, it's my disgrace, because we are interconnected at so many levels, and I am one with that fellow who I'm maybe at times I may become happy that, oh, he's going down. So let me live in that consciousness of the unity. We are not separate is in reference with other people or mother. I think I'm not sure what you exactly want to say, but here I feel again, other reflections are welcome. That knowing that there is divine everywhere, and each and every aspect of creation is just the manifestation of divine. So there is unity everywhere. We are all one and interconnected. So mother is reminding that let me live in this consciousness of unity, that there is a vast interconnectedness and we are all one. So I feel that it's a reference to that unity, but there may be other things. Yeah. And let me always conform to thy will. And again, this also requires a great humility and step back from our normal limited ego consciousness, that I don't know what is the best in this situation. But I know that the divine knows, and I will be shown whatever is the right path. So, keeping our mind open, vast, and supple, and being ready for anything and everything that is ready to unfold in our lives. Let me always conform to thy will. Let me not bring my own willings and demands and expectations in the picture. They may come, but may I be able to see them. May I be able to step back from them. With reverent and silent devotion, I bow to thee as the sovereign Lord of the world. Yes, Shweta?
Yeah, this ego thing, no? So, so what we are like praying here and listening to with mother, uh, that is something, yeah, you try to follow, and especially when ego strikes, with some emotion, you remind yourself about this. Okay, so I am doing that, uh, and yet the ego is so strong. Okay, so something that had troubled me few days ago. Okay, so I am like uh, talking to myself and praying to mother and telling myself, this is ego, this is ego. And like and the enemy thing which you said, like like uh, किसी के बारे में भी अगर ऐसे लग रहा है तो नहीं, that is like there is no separate self, like we are all what I see exists in me, everything I'm telling myself. Okay, and yet and today I knew that uh, like few friends are coming and this topic might come, and since morning I'm preparing ki no, I'm not going to give in to my ego self, and like I'm going to I know better, and I'm praying and praying. And yet when my friends came and this topic just started, I just poured out and it all vanished. I mean, it was just that, oh yes, this happened, and I was hurt. And at that moment I didn't even feel bad about it. So I've been reflecting since then that so many days I'm telling myself that this is the ego, and like, and yet I was like in a jiffy I lost it. So I'm just wondering, इतने एक्चुअली दिल से समझते हैं, सब सब कर रहे हो, प्रेयर भी कर रहे हो, and yet the ego is so strong to take that validation, and it like this it slipped away. So I was just thinking such a long way to go. And ठीक है, and yet only difference is that uh, like otherwise I would have again judged myself. This time I haven't judged myself, and I know that next time I'll do better. So this difference I feel, that's it. So
Beautiful, beautiful. I think this difference that you saw, let me just bring up this exact line from Savitri, what you just shared. Just read this, just a second. Okay. If you can, maybe read this bit. Can you? Okay. Yeah. Can you see the purple that I just did? The purple color? Oh, let me just uncolor it. Maybe that would help. Yeah, this one. Would you like to read it, Shweta?
sure, sure. Oh, I was
Mhm.
talking with on mute, so
Yeah, yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
No will can take away, and no doom change the. Oh, should I start from it is near?
Yeah, that would be nice. Yes.
Oh, okay. It is near us in unnumbered bodies and births. In its unslackening grasp, it keeps for us safe the one inevitable supreme result. No will can take away, and no doom change the crown of conscious immortality. The Godhead promised to our struggling souls when first man's heart dared death and suffered life. One who has shaped this world is ever its Lord. Our errors and our errors are his steps upon the way. He works through the fierce vicissitudes of our lives. He works through the hard breath of battle and toil. He works through our sins and sorrows and our tears. His knowledge overrules our nescience.
Yeah, maybe even again in Savitri we don't know where to stop. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
I can
just
read it.
yeah, just continue with this other
Yeah,
pink paragraph also.
okay, yeah. Whatever the appearance we must beat, whatever our strong ills and present fate, when nothing we can see but drift and bail, a mighty guidance leads us still through all. After we have served this great divided world, God's bliss and oneness are our inborn right.
Yeah, yeah. See, so you just shared your experience, and nothing is in vain. Nothing is in vain. What does he share here? Our errors are his steps on the way.
Hmm.
He works through the fierce vicissitudes of our lives. He's working, even through this stumbling that you saw. He's working through that. So he works through the hard breath of battle and toil. He works through our sins and sorrows and our tears. And whatever the appearance, we must bear. We have to bear the burden, whatever it may appear at the moment. Whatever our strong ills, you were talking about my weakness and the ego self, all that.
Hmm. Hmm.
Whatever our strong ills and present fate, when nothing we can see but drift and wail, a mighty guidance leads us still through all. So knowing that even in the middle of this chaos, that mighty guidance is leading the way.
Wow.
There is no other possibility. No?
That's nice. Thank you,
Yeah, yeah.
Mudita.
This is the divine certitude, which comes again and again in Mother's prayers. That the victory is certain. Victory is certain. So not to be again, bothered too much about the errors that we make, because our errors are the steps on the way. And in other place, Sri Aurobindo shares that through our stumblings, the world is perfected. Each stumbling has a purpose.
Beautiful.
Here again, we can actually go on and on. So, a date is fixed in the calendar of the unknown, an anniversary of the birth sublime. Our soul shall justify its checkered walk. So, you just shared about something, we can all resonate with our stumblings and checkered walk, maybe 10 steps ahead, 20 back. All that will be justified. Why? Because this has to come. We have to go forward. All will come near, that now is not or far. So now egolessness appear very far, divine consciousness appears very far, but he says, he gives us a certitude, all will come near, that now is not or far. Yeah?
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. So relaxing, and we can, if we, as you rightly said, that the only thing that I observed was that at least I didn't judge myself for this, and that itself, and plus many other levels which we can't see, might be our baby step. Yeah. So yeah, anyone wants to add on here? So again, I mean, reminding ourselves that whenever our focus goes too much on our, see how narrow I am, see how limited I am, all the focus is on how I am. Then if the focus we can change on, okay, I may be whatever I am, but Mother is all powerful. So let me rest in Mother's consciousness. Just hiding in Mother's pallu for as long as required. That's the best, safest space to be. Because then the mind is also centered on the Mother's consciousness and not round and round thinking in loops about my own stories. What could I have done? I should have done this, I should have done that. Oh, I knew better, I could have taken a step back. So all this rumination mostly can be avoided if we rest our mind with mother's presence. So with reverent and silent devotion, I bow to thee as the sovereign Lord of the world. Today I shortly went to a Gurudwara, which I go since it's very close here. And it's again there, usually the bhajan or songs that are going on there, they're so beautiful, so very beautiful. And so my little one, he already had his halwa. So he just wanted to get up, because now the prasad is in the tummy, so now we can get up. But I could not get up because there was such a beautiful. I'm trying to find it. I hope I find it. There was such a beautiful bhajan going on, maybe by Kabir, because Kabir name did come in between, where he said that your name is the cleaner of every sin, and your name is just, the everything supreme is just your name. The name of the Lord is enough. And it was so beautiful, each and every line. And that's what we see with the mother. With mother, we see that the only mantra that Sri Aurobindo gave was mother's name. So, if instead of resting our consciousness from time to time in our chattery thoughts, can we rest our consciousness with the mother's name? So simple, so powerful. And then we can simplify our hearts, simplify our lives, and be rid of all that poison that keeps on building up from time to time. Just mother's name, one syllable only, Ma. Yeah. And of course, somebody was sharing with Alokda that, at times we may not have very good relationship with our own biological mothers. So we may have trouble connecting with the mother fully. It can happen actually. So he said that it's okay, because that person said that for me, I came to Sri Aurobindo as a friend because I can relate with him as a friend, which I'm not able to open to the mother so far, because I don't have a very good biological relation with my biological mother. And it is okay, whatever comes first. If Sri Aurobindo's connection comes first, if mother's connection comes first, and it cannot be possible that throughout just Sri Aurobindo we will be able to be narrow ourselves too, because through Sri Aurobindo we can again, the mother has to enter. They are one. They appear two, but they are one. Yeah. So anything that suits us, that suits our journey. Okay, so just reminding ourselves to turn to the Almighty, to turn to the All Powerful. Although we may not be powerful, we may be full of weaknesses, but He is the one who is full of, she is the one who is full of this powerful presence which can bear any weakness and transform it and transmute it. So we may not know, but she knows. She will be doing the yoga for us if only we can open more and more and more. Yeah, so any last comments, anyone, before we end? Yes, Abhishek?
Monica, this really beautifully, what Shweta also shared, and you also. The thing is this: what I always believe. This is my own thing. That's when we came to this on earth, we were invisible, and when we are going on from this planet, we will be invisible. This is a limited period of the journey of our life. So that's why the mother also say this is a full sincerity of the devotions. If you have it, this is no matter what mistakes you are doing and what other things you are doing. The mother is there to align all those things there, because ultimately at some point of the time we are realizing, okay, that is wrong, and that's why we are human being. We are not a perfection, and this world is completely highest entropy in the sense of chemistry disturbance. So everyone is trying to align this. The life is like aligning these things and trying to making a perfectionist, actually, to do the things perfection. But if we do the things of perfection, then we cannot try to understand the life. So that's why the person who do not go for the perfection and do the mistakes and then realize and then correct the mistakes. So this is a life. This is a lessons only. So they gave us enjoyment. They gave us lesson. Okay, this was not the right. This is the right, and this. So these are the small experiences in the life. It should not be affect us and never be, because you that Savitri. There's one line actually. I just read it. Okay, that's the the date is fixed in the calendar of unknown. So I would assume the date of the dying is fixed. When you are going or when we are going on this planet. So that's why whatever we are here, for example, we are having the discussion of mother and all, but we are resembling this with our life, because we are living this practical life, and the spiritual life we are going to connect each other. So till we are on this planet, there's only one thing: full devotions, full trust, and full faith, and just leave each and everything to the Lord. They will take care, divine will take care of each and everything. Only we have to feel anand and the happiness. That is a life.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah. Yes, Shweta, anything? I think you unmuted also.
No, I just wanted to say thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, everyone. And just taking one last moment before we leave to share and dedicate all the merit, understanding, delight, the spirit of collective reflection, sharing it with all the sentient beings, because we are united, we are interconnected. And may all of us have peace in our hearts, simplicity in our minds, and deep joy and progress in our life. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.